New York Knicks rumors are heating up right ahead of the NBA draft as multiple reports have revealed new details on this team and what they look like they will be doing ahead of this NBA draft and how these plans will impact the future of the Knicks in a general sense in regards to their bench, obviously some potential trades and stuff, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things. As always, if you guys are part of that 71%, make sure to subscribe to Knicks Digest for daily New York Knicks videos. We got multiple videos coming out every single day. You do not want to miss out on all this great Knicks content that we got for you. But let's jump into the video. There is a lot to go over. The New York Knicks are known for kind of doing that second round shuffle in the NBA draft. Now, the second round is tomorrow night, June 26th. However, trades will happen today for the second round as well, with all the GMs focused on the same thing, which is a very rare occasion outside of the trade deadline on the first day of free agency. There's going to be a lot of discussion between these teams on deciding what is going to happen for their each respective team in regards to their draft. And the Knicks, they do not have a plethora of draft picks this year. In fact, they have one, and it's the 50th overall pick. And, well, for a team that's basically on just a speed run to that second apron, it's pretty clear that the Knicks are going to want to have another player on their contract or on their books who's not a two-way contract and can provide some sort of instant help for this team. And the easiest way of doing that is moving up in the draft. Now, looking at a report from Chris Persianen, he mentioned that sources familiar with the situation tell Clutch Points the Knicks have interest in several forwards in the second round range of this year's draft. The Arkansas Razorbacks, Adu Thiero, and on top of that, Belmont Bruins' Jonathan Pierre are both said to intrigue New York, particularly in Thursday night's second round. Now, in regards to the Knicks in the second round, it's important to note that Jonathan Wasserman was doing a Q&A on just the upcoming NBA draft yesterday, and someone asked if there was any intel on any workouts the Knicks have had, or if there's smoke that they may move up in the draft or down or out. And Wasserman did say, I'd bet on them moving up early into the second round. Now, I did a whole video on this, so we're not really going to stick on this topic specifically for very long. But I will say I expect them to move up as well. Look, in all honesty, it's clear the Knicks need another bench player, and are you going to for sure get that in the second round? Absolutely not. But you are going to get a cheap contract, and the Knicks need a cheap contract for someone who's going to be better than a two-way deal. So they've looked at multiple players, one of them being an older guy who does scream Knicks in a lot of ways in Adu Thiero. And Thiero's been a very solid player in college. In his final season, averaged around 15 points and 8 rebounds per game. He's a forward. The Knicks desperately need forward depth, and there has been a lot about Thiero to like. Now, just diving back in and taking a look at what Kevin O'Connor mentioned about him, he said, Thiero is a slasher with a jacked frame and an explosive first step, but he has severe limitations on offense as a shooter. If he's able to figure out that shot, then his length and versatility would make him a classic 3-and-D role player. Comparisons are Jay Crowder and Stanley Johnson. This is the type of player that if he became a Jay Crowder, if he became what Stanley Johnson was at his best, he would be a great bench player for this Knicks team. And on top of that, O'Connor mentioned that his strengths are straight line driving. He's a bulldozer on his drives to the basket with his muscular frame, explosive first step, and leaping ability. His passing, even though he's not a playmaker, he can facilitate within the flow of the offense and make some occasionally tasty cross-court passes. Defense, with great size, lateral quickness, and physicality on top of his 7-foot wingspan, he has the ability to guard across multiple positions. Now, when we look just at the concerns, it's the shooting, as Thiero only made around 28.4% of his threes in 3 college seasons, and there aren't many positive indicators for him. He shoots at a low volume at just a single attempt per game. He has stiff mechanics, and from the line, he's below average at 71.1% in college. Shot creation is an issue as well. He's able to straight line drive, but that's about it. He has a loose handle, and anytime he gets pressured, he gets sped up, and he forces plays. His defensive discipline needs some work as well, as he takes too many gambles on defense, commits avoidable fouls, and has poor awareness away from the ball. If he eliminates blown rotations and plays a more reliable game, that's his ticket to earning minutes. So Thiero is someone who would need some work, but is an older guy who would be able to be a solid defender coming out of the NBA draft in the second round. Now, he put up 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists in his final season in college basketball. For his college career in the 3 years, averaged around 8.8 points and 4.4 rebounds per game. He had a 25 PER, so his efficiency was good. It's just a matter of he can't really shoot the ball. He's kind of a wing more than anything else, but he's a talented wing. He could really guard multiple positions. He's a big guy. He gives you some good defense off the bench. Look, this is one of those things that I don't mind what I'm reading from the scouting report, but the Knicks don't necessarily need a guy like Adu Thiero right now. What they need is someone who could shoot the ball. I mean, I've made it very clear I want Kobe Brea. I think he makes the perfect sense for the Knicks because, yeah, he's not as well-rounded as a lot of these guys, but what he is someone who does have the ability to shoot the ball at a very, very, very elite clip. And that's what I want to see the Knicks go for more than anything else. Now, Thiero was ranked, or not ranked, but projected to go 35th to the Philadelphia 76ers. Sort of around a few other players here who, some big man, just in that 33 to 37 range, that mid-30s. So the Knicks would obviously have to trade up for him. However, they would not have to trade up for Jonathan Pierre. Pierre is a very intriguing target for a lot of reasons. He is a guard, but he's 6'9", and the Knicks did work him out. When you look at the guys who the Knicks worked out, there's only a few of them. They didn't do a ton of workouts, and I mean, if you saw the Dylan Cardwell video, you'd know that I think he's a very interesting player because he's very similar to Mitchell Robinson, so you would get sort of just like a young Mitch in a lot of ways if he worked out. But they're kind of all over the place with positions. You got 2 big men, 2 power forwards, you got 2 centers, you got what they're listing Pierre as a small forward, but he plays like a guard, and then Chucky Hepburn out of Louisville, who is a point guard. The Knicks are clearly looking more towards their front court than their back court, and that's absolutely what they should be doing. When you look at their back court, just in a general sense, it's good. You have Jalen Brunson, and then whoever you want to put next to him, which is probably Mikal Bridges, but also like a mix of Mikal Bridges, OG, and from there, we'll see what else they do. Their backups should be Tyler Kolek and Deuce McBride, so that position is solved there. The Knicks need to look towards bench forwards. That's what they need. They need a guy off the bench who's around 6'6", 6'7", who could score the ball, who can give him some shot creation, who could just impact the game positively on day one. That's what the Knicks need to look for, both in free agency and in this draft. And look, I'm not trying to be negative on him, but Jonathan Pierre might not exactly be that. Now, the way that Persianen explained it is a pretty good analysis of it, saying another target league sources have said the Knicks are interested in to some extent is Jonathan Pierre, a 6'9", 210-pound senior from Belmont. The Bruins have one active NBA alumnus in Ben Shepherd of the Indiana Pacers. Pierre transferred from the Division II level to Memphis after a late growth spurt of his own. He was a 5'10" guard in his freshman year of high school. He started his senior year at 6'2", a fine stature for an NBA guard, before growing 5 inches mid-season per Jamal Hines. Pierre grew 2 more inches in college and ended up at Belmont. So Pierre is a very, very, very tall dude. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes down with that. Pierre's someone who put up 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shot 40% from the field, 37% from 3, had an 18.6 PER. He's enticing because he's a guard who's 6'9". So you get the excitement factor of, if this works, this could be huge. But when's the last time we've seen it work? I mean, we saw the Thunder kind of swing and miss on Ousmane Dieng, and it's not completely their fault. They had a very deep team by the time that he was getting in there, and it wasn't exactly the easiest for Dieng to get minutes. He's actually likely going to get traded today as well. But in regards to the Knicks, Pierre's interesting. If you can get him late in the draft, it's a fun pick to take because if it works out, it's going to be great. You get shot creation. You get a guy who can shoot the ball very well off the dribble as well. So you get a guy with guard skills who's 6'9". That's going to be really, really fluid in the NBA. It's just a matter of if it works out. So you see, he's not going to be in this mid-30s area. He's going to be a later draft pick for sure. So it comes down to that. And we look at the Knicks I guess they also probably interviewed him to some extent, but they worked him out, and he's not even ranked on these boards. The highest ranked guy that they worked out is Mohamed Diawara, And Diawara is someone who also is a taller guard, or at least that's how he classifies himself. Diawara is a very solid player in a lot of ways. Now, over in France, his numbers don't jump out at you, but again, it's that EuroLeague thing of we have to be very aware that, well, one, he's not getting a ton of minutes over there until his final season where he got around 20 minutes per game, put up 6 points, pulled down 3 rebounds, got 1.5 assists. But the numbers are never crazy when you're overseas. Like, there's just a lot less possessions, so you have to think about that as well. The completely different sport almost. But Diawara does believe he's an NBA player, and he is coming over this year. And he said, I feel like I'm a big guard. I can handle the ball like a guard, and that's what I think. I'm way better right now. So it'll be another guy who the Knicks will look at. I wouldn't be shocked if the Knicks look for Diawara for a 2-way contract and then playing in the Summer League come this year. But, guys, we have a lot more other news to get to, so we are going to jump into all that on the next one. Guys, make sure to subscribe to Knicks Digest, like this video, turn on post notifications, have a great day, and go Knicks.